In this tutorial, we'll be looking at event delegation. So why do we need event delegation? We look at it with lots and lots of examples, and we look at the pros and cons. Capturing and bubbling actually allow us to implement the most powerful event handling patterns called event delegation. Okay, so what is capturing and what is bubbling? So let me just go to the index.html and show you what it is. So for example, I have a div here, and maybe it's there here. I put a color or something, it's there in this much space. Okay, so if I click on it, what happens is it searches for all the event handlers or the handlers from the HTML tag, and then on the body tag, and then on the div tag. So it goes from top to down. That is what is capturing. So bubbling is the same thing, just it starts from the particular div tag and then it goes to body and then goes to HTML. If you want more details about this, check out the videos, it's there in the description, or you can just type out bubbling Codefreak or capturing Codefreak and you'll find it on YouTube. No worries at all. So now let's go ahead and look at what exactly is event delegation. Say we have a table here, 2 cross 2 table, or maybe you have a matrix of n cross n, maybe 9999 cross 9999, something like that. Okay, so say you want to select one of them. So for each of them, if you have to add an event listener, oh god, it's going to become such a big mess, right? So instead of that, we have this event delegation which actually helps us out. So let us look at it with this same table example only. So let me just create the table here like that, and then I'm not going to have t heads on also, I'll just have t rows. So the first t row here, so inside this row we'll have maybe 2 elements, maybe 1. So let's give in some ID so that we can actually select each of them to put different color and actually check it out properly, or actually we'll just leave it like that only, no need to do, don't worry about it. And let me add in one more TD, maybe which will have 2 inside it, something like that. Okay, and let's create one more row just for the sake of it, and let's give in 2 TDs again. So this TD is going to be 3 and the next TD is going to be 4. So very simple, very nice. Let's see what happens right now on our HTML page. So you get 1 2 3 4. Let's give it some spacing and all in our style.css. So I'll go here and I'll select the TD, and let's give in some, okay, it's not .td, it's not a class. So let's give in some padding of 20 pixels. Yeah, background color, maybe we'll give hash ddd. So let's give it a border of maybe 1 pixel solid, and let's give black. Okay, let's see what happens now. It's not going to be something very nice, but it's okay, I guess. Maybe we can okay, I've not implemented the padding, so let me just make it 50 for the sake of it. So yeah, this looks good. So maybe when we click on this particular thing, we want to change the color. This particular row, we want to change its color. So maybe we'll have to select all these rows and then put in some loop and stuff like that. So instead of doing all that, we can actually do it in a very simple way using event delegation. So let's go to the JavaScript file and do it. Let me just comment this out. Okay, and let's do it here. So let's create a variable called selected. Let's create another variable called table, and let's get the table basically using the query selector. So now we can use the function like maybe something like table.onClick, and then we can equate it to an arrow function. So that's up to you. You can use a normal function or you can use an arrow function. So I like to use an arrow function. So let's take the event as an E. So yeah, this way. Now what we will do here is that we will create a variable called target, and we'll use the target event.target option. Okay, we'll use the event dot so we'll take whatever is the event.target and we'll put it here. Okay, so what exactly is this event.target? It is going to be whatever you clicked here, right, that particular element. So let me just make it E because we have called it E here, right? I'm going to check if this target, okay, basically the target variable which we have created is not equal to td. So if it's equal to td only, we want to use it, right? So td, but actually we want to check the tag name. So you can get this by using dot tag name, right? Then if it is not equal to td, we'll just stop. So we'll just do return. It's not something which we don't require as of now, right? Otherwise you want to maybe change its color, so you can do that maybe by, we'll use a function for now. So we will call it change color. So let's use that function like that, and then inside that we want to send in the target as a parameter. Yeah, we can do that, and let's create the function now. So change color, so that is the function which we are creating, and inside that we are having a target. Basically it's a TD, so you can, I'll just name it target, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, and then here inside this let's change the color. So before we change the color, I'm going to do one thing which is nice. I'll take the selected and I'll put it equal to the target. Okay, so that is good, and then I'll add in a class which will change the color, right? So I'll select the class list like this, and I'll do dot add, and then I'll add a class. I'll add a class called red. So we'll go to the CSS and we will create that class, which is just going to change the background color. So it's a very simple class. So it has only one feature, which is that it's going to change the background color to red. So that's done, I guess. So now let's go and look at what happens. I forgot to add function here. So you see that 1 got selected, right? 2 got selected, but if I click on 4, it got selected. Okay, so that's good as of now. But say you want only that particular one to select and the other one to not get selected, so that's why we have this selected variable. So we will select if any of them is selected. So if selected is true, then we can have a condition to like maybe remove the class list, remove the red class from the class list. So class list dot remove, yeah, we can use the remove feature. Yeah, and what we want to remove this class called highlight. We want to remove this class called red. So that should be good, right? So now if I just refresh the screen, you will see that only one of them can get selected. Okay, that's how this works. So now there's one more problem with this which I want to show you. So inside this, say I have one, maybe some other thing here, like maybe bold or something like that. So let me use em tag. Okay, and then inside this let me have one instead of having it here. So if I just go here and click on this, it doesn't get selected, right? So for this, what can we actually do? How can we do that? This was something which we had learned in one of the previous classes in, I think, the DOM manipulation part 1 section. So yeah, I want you to pause the video here and just recollect it once, then I'm going to show it to you. Dot closest, so we had discussed this, I guess. So dot closest TD, so you can see now it's working. There's one more nice example. So let me make 3 buttons here. Okay, so you have 3 buttons. Normally you would put an event listener for save, an event listener for this delete button, and an event listener for high. So say you want to put one event listener for all of them. Is that possible? Yes, it is very much possible. So just let me show that to you. So you can use this data hash. So this helps us to create our custom attributes. Do so this can be anything you want. Okay, right? So I'm going to call this save. Okay, and then let me just copy this over and do it for the others also. Okay, so I have made it data do save, data do delete, data do high, right? Now how can we actually access all of this? Yes, that's the big question. So let's go to the JavaScript file, and we are going to create a class here. Okay, so this class, I'll call it something like maybe btn. So btn class, so this is a button class, and then inside this we will have a constructor. It's going to have a parameter which is the element parameter, and we're going to put this element equal to lm basically. So whatever is the element that you provide through the constructor, and then we're going to do something which is very important and nice. So element dot on click, so when you click it, you want something to happen, right? So you're going to do this. So for this particular element or for this particular class, you are going to do this dot. So we're going to make another function. Okay, so that function we'll call it do, and we have to use this dot bind, which is very important for this whole thing to work. And then we'll send in this whole object of this class. Okay, basically the full object, by using this parameter. So the first function is going to be save function, and I'm going to just say alert and maybe put in there save. saving. Yeah, saving should be good, something like that. So let me do this for the other two also quickly. Do, and we're going to take E, so that should be good. So let's create a variable here inside this called target, and let's equate it to event.target. So whatever is the target, basically whatever you're clicking on. So similar to how we had done in the previous example, but in this we want to get the data set. So in the data set we want the do. So that's what we had put in the HTML, if you remember, data set data do. So how do you access this attribute basically? So you have to do it in this manner, dot data set dot do. That's how you can access it. That's what we are going to store it in the target basically. If there is something in the target, okay, then we are going to do this. We are going to do this dot. You can actually do this dot target, but that won't work because it's a variable. So you have to do it in this manner. It's going to call that particular function. So this binder is very much important. So it's going to do that for you. So I guess this is something new which you might not know. If you know, very good, well and good. So let's just create a object of this btn class. So how do we do that? Let's take this whole thing and then we'll just create a div and give it an id called maybe btn. Okay, and inside that I'm going to put all of these buttons. So if you check it again, you get this is saving. Wow, that works good. And then this is deleting, and this should say hi. Wow. Let's look at all the pros and cons which will help us out to take a proper decision. So click on the video which is there right on the screen right now so that you can watch that. And before you do that, just don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Bye bye guys.